So our next key resource and sponsor, Ken Frucci, is an amazing OSHA trainer, OSHA resource. He's going to come on and share with us updates because OSHA is always changing. This pandemic has made things quite nacho nuts with masks. So I know while we could talk to Ken for the next 5 hours about this, he is going to share with us some key points. And he has a scary story too he could share about what happens when OSHA goes awry. Welcome, Ken. Before you get started, just share with the audience what you do and how people can reach out to you. I think, Ken, you're still on mute. No worries there.
There we go. Good.
Perfect.
All right, great. Hi, Paul. Hi, everybody. Great to be back with Nachos again. Always a pleasure. Just briefly, we are a nationally approved safety training consulting company that specifically works with the dental industry. We'll basically handle all areas of risk management for OSHA, medical emergencies, including CPR and medical emergency training. And the big topic now, as you just mentioned, Paul, were masks, N95 mask, KN95, the respiratory protection program and fit test is the hot topic right now. And we do want to share a story about a recent client here in New Jersey that just had a COVID exposure in their office. And I'll certainly tell the story. There's not a lot that I can reveal because it's confidential. We've got HIPAA laws and I'm bound by law to not reveal the source. However, we've learned some things from that. We think that'll be great to share with everybody.
I think, Ken, we had connected on some earlier lives. This right now, OSHA training, we have great OSHA resources. And people don't know this, but I'm really into OSHA, into infection control. Let's just say somebody's watching this like they did the last one. They reached out to you and said, hey, Ken, I would like to connect with you. If you want Ken's information, you can text CMET to 55444. Maybe you haven't done OSHA training in a while. Maybe you have a book that has dust. Maybe you want to know about the fit test. But, you had a group reach out to you. What did you do for them? The mass fit test? Walk me through the process. They reach out to you, Ken, and then what happens?
Well, we have a couple of options. We do have a full compliance program that we have offered where we have a few clients take it. It's a 2-year compliance program, and it's $3,000. They pay it over a 2-month period, split up to payments. That will include office inspections to make sure that there are no additional small OSHA liability issues hanging around. I recently did one for a client and found that they had a broken eye wash in one office, which was an issue. And then their other office that they had in the contract with us never had an eye wash.
Yeah, right. So that you find, I have to say, I've done a great OSHA training. You always learn something that,
Right.
You don't have to cry about it. You don't have to say you're terrible. Just make it a little bit better. This is a hard thing to do. We don't get training on this in dental school. Then we come out to practice. Sometimes you buy a practice where they say, I used to do it this way. It's not the right way. So those are things. So with this compliance program, which is incredibly reasonable, you can get your team to help offices with a total compliance type program. Is that correct?
We also provide a liability coverage and additional insured services on that would allow us to put that client on our corporate liability as an additional insured, therefore making us liable that if we failed to keep that office in compliant over the 2 years and they had an incident and they received a fine from OSHA, we are now liable by contract terms to assume payment of that fine.
I like that. You put your OSHA money where your mouth is, and that probably makes them feel comfortable. And, it's OSHA for, you're doing this every day. And that's why I say, whether it's a root canal specialist or an OSHA specialist, people who do these specific things every day, rely on them. Now, I know there's people watching, whether it's live now or in the future or on the recording, they're going to say this. What about the mask? Give me a quick mask update. N95, KN95. If someone hasn't done anything, if their office has been shut down, they're going to open tomorrow, Ken, in New Jersey, PA, let's say this area, what should they be doing about the mask fit test?
They need to first evaluate the masks that they purchase. They need to make sure someone comes in, like myself, to fit test that mask, because in this incident that I just mentioned that happened, our first question is, was the employee wearing a mask that fit them properly? Did they not have all the other PPE items which are now recommended? You can't just wear the mask and assume it's going to work. There's other issues involved. So they need to concentrate on that protection for the employer and the employee. Right now, the OSHA mandate, and depending on the state, I know in the state of Pennsylvania, It is mandatory by the Department of Health. It is also the same in New Jersey. So right now, that should be their main focus is, are we comfortable? Can we get a patient that comes in that may be asymptomatic, that passes our pre-screening, they have no temperature, pulse ox is fine, they come in, could they be a carrier? Sure. And we'll never know. We'll never be able to trace that. But if that person is a carrier and they're not properly well protected, we could be looking at a serious liability issue.
And that's why, it's just important to do things the regular right way. Also, one of my things, ABC, always be connecting, and my team can share our other key resource in the sponsor PPE Fusion in the chat. I've connected you with Mark Rubino, and tell me about the mask that they're doing. They're another sponsor of the group. Share with me a little bit about that.
Fantastic mask. To a lot of offices that I go to, they've never heard of the mask. I introduced the BYD in '95, and what we're finding is the material that Mark's company makes, it's so comfortable. It's not a bulky, thicker mask that people complain that they couldn't wear or that they can't breathe in. And what it does, it actually allows the flexibility. We're seeing right now anywhere from a 98 to 100% positive fit test on that BYD.
That's awesome. Our team share their link. And I want to just take a moment. This is why I'm doing this show. It's not about OSHA, it's not about CBCTs, it's not about marketing, it's about making good decisions in your dentist in court. If I need nachos to live my life and I'm going to run out of nachos, I want to buy nachos. But what's great about masks and things like that is they don't expire, unless, I don't know, do they expire, Ken?
NIOSH puts a 2-year expiration date on it.
Right. But 2 years, get yourself this year's supply, because I'm sharing this. I hope this prediction does not come true, but I'm very worried that when we have our eye off the ball, when things feel better on earth for dentists, we're going to run out of stuff we need to do our work. And if this is a mask and you don't have it, it doesn't matter if you do implants, you do this, you can't operate. So stock up. I have seen suppliers and other sponsors be very collaborative, saying, buy some from this supplier, buy some from this supplier, because we want you to stay in business. So I appreciate you sharing that about Mark and his company. He's been a great person to work with. So I think what you're doing for our community, Ken, is awesome. You're sharing great resource. You're also sharing fun on the group. Before we jump off, is there anything else you want to share with the community?
We're running a special right now, which we've actually posted in the summer. Actually, it's summer 2020 is the code. So we're offering a 10% discount on any of our services, whether
awesome.
Individual courses or if they want to do the full 2-year compliance program. It's a 10% discount that's running through the end of September. It might, money is certainly an issue. One thing that we're aware of is that I feel like we're in the same boat as the dentists are. We're all trying to recover money that we've lost from this crazy pandemic. So we have to be flexible, and we have to be willing to work with dentists to help cover their costs. So that might make a difference in them looking, a lot of times they're afraid to spend money, and we understand that. And sometimes you got to spend money to do the right thing, because the cost per code could be higher for them.
Totally agree with you. And this is something that's the foundation of what we do. OSHA training, keeping your team safe. Thanks, Ken, for being an awesome sponsor. If you can hang around at the end, we're all going to talk to all the sponsors, ask them what they learned. But thanks for being part of the show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Paul. Always a pleasure.
Thanks so much.